This printing of money is nuts. The federal debt to GDP is 128.6%. How insane is that? But there's one thing that's going to break the camel's back. George Clooney calls for movie theaters to receive federal bailout amid pandemic. George Clooney calls for movie theaters to receive federal bailout money.
Well, he's an actor, so...
No, but these are movie theaters.
Dude.
Okay? It's a difference between...
It's a dead art form.
Movie theaters?
Yeah.
No.
Hell wants to pay a bunch of money to go sit in a building to watch something you could spin up on Netflix now.
I do. I love
giant monitor in your house.
I love movie theaters. What is it, like
fun.
a
It's
50, 60-foot screen?
I feel like it's nostalgia, but
popcorn. It's a fun thing
so
to do.
expensive to run. Like,
yeah. And
they're in
New Jersey, they're being all shut down. So this segue, the point is, I think it's interesting to see what I think is really happening with George Clooney calling for federal bailout money. You know where that money goes from movie theaters? It gets paid to the movie industry.
Yeah.
He's talking about giving himself a paycheck
He knows that.
without saying, give me a paycheck. These hoity-toity, say whatever celebrities love espousing all of the Democrat messages, and now the people they support have destroyed the economy. And in New Jersey, where AMC is like suing, I guess, and completely destroyed, he's like, oh, you got to bail out the movie theaters and give them some money. Yeah. And then when the movies can come back.
Let's talk about Nazism for a minute, because that's National Socialism, and he's trying to use socialism to fund these businesses. It sounds like pre-World War II Germany. All these people talking about using more government money.
That's been overused.
Let's talk about National Socialism. What do you want to use American money for again, guys? Come on, that's socialism.
Hollywood actors are the people who have pushed us into this mess, not entirely on their own, but they've been supporting lunatics like Newsom and these people like Cuomo, defending them, doing PSAs
at the same time as they tell you to protest Black Lives Matter in cringy little videos where they self-righteously tell you about how we need to apologize.
So let's play it two ways. Let's say they have all these massive protests from Black Lives Matter, and then we get a COVID pandemic. Okay, that's your fault. You're the one telling the people to go outside. Then the people they've supported politically destroy all these businesses, and then he goes, just print us some money, why don't you? Just print us some money, huh? How about that? Yeah, you know what, man? These people are something else.
I guess the Nazis didn't have crypto. We need to look at this like pre-World War II Germany, because we're in a situation where if a strong man came in, Trump, if he had gone psycho, probably could have done a Hitler thing, but he didn't.
Well, we're talking about Hollywood, Luke.
Yes.
So what do you think about George Clooney?
Very kind of...
Tell us.
I mean, I pulled up the article here, and it's absolutely just flabbergasted to see so many low information idiots out there always thinking that we could just print more money and then everything is solved. Everything just magically comes back together.
It's about doing it for themselves.
Well, exactly.
It's about them
what else is their entire career about? What else is their entire virtual signaling about? What else is their entire kind of life about other than give me enough money and I'll read the scripts and I'll do it and I'll perform it in a better way than anyone else on the face of the world? That's exactly what acting is.
But these people are advertisements.
Yeah.
That's what they've always been. And so when it comes to the Democrats, they've always gone to these personalities and these celebrities to use them to essentially gain power, to manipulate. And it's marketing. I want to make it seem like it's all that nefarious. They find people that are popular. They pay them to say the message. These people get elected. And now that these people are saying, oh, no, our industry has gone belly up. Well, that's what you supported.
Exactly. And if there's enough money, they'll do anything for that money. And it's kind of sad when you look at Hollywood. It's truly an industry that is extremely seedy, extremely disgusting, that you see so many horror stories come out of. And when you look at a lot of these celebrities, I mean, we even saw, Dr. Fauci, I think he's kind of considered a celebrity. He came out today and he said, people shouldn't really spend Christmas with their family members together. Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, released in a horrible video with her
with Santa.
and Santa and children, with Santa telling the little kids, remember, listen to the governor, and Whitmer saying, it's best if you don't spend Christmas with your family members. But hold on, let me just make a little point here, because I think it's important to understand here that these same individuals are abusing this entire situation for their own personal gain. And if let's say there was an actual real threat, say there actually was a big, huge, serious illness, sickness going around, if they were taking it seriously and they were saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't protest, hey, maybe we shouldn't have Best Buy open for Black Friday, everyone lined up outside, maybe we shouldn't be celebrating a presidential victory and drinking booze and sharing it with everyone. Maybe if they were taking it seriously themselves, maybe I would, but I will never be lectured by these fat cat plutocrats who don't listen to their own orders telling me what to do. I'm sorry, they don't take it seriously. I'm not going to take it seriously either, and it's disgusting to see them and this larger establishment always push out these dumb ideas that bring down our national IQ to this insane level where right now we literally have Santa Claus being used and abused to make sure that little children love and worship a governor.
It's an extraction. It's an extraction. These people don't think about the better future for everybody. These people aren't the ones saying a rising tide raises all ships. What they're saying is there's only so much water in this bay. I better take it for myself, not realizing what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So when we see people like Clooney in Hollywood, he's like, well, what he's basically saying is we're one of the biggest exporters, so we must be subsidized. Bro, printing money and giving it to you won't produce product to send over the world. That's a BS excuse. You're an ultra wealthy individual, mad your industry's in trouble, just like everybody else's, but you think they should bail you out. Well, maybe you shouldn't support the people who shut down your industry, and that's what you did. And at the same time, these Democrat governors who got the support from these celebrities are the ones who are basically saying, how much can I extract from the working class before the system goes belly up? That's what we see with Gretchen Whitmer. She's burning it all down, and as it all crumbles, she's looting the burning homes of the townspeople.
And then George Clooney and all these other celebritards are seeing this as a massive opportunity, saying, "Give me some of the money before."
I'll say whatever you want me to say.
Bust. Exactly. And
yeah,
that's
but come
exactly
on. Remember the Panama Papers? How many of these celebrities popped up in this having money overseas?
Yep, a whole lot of them.
I can't remember who it was, but there was some woman. And I can't remember exactly. It was some female celebrity, and she was like, "I had no idea. Oh, it's just my advisors were putting my money in Panama." And then wasn't it the person who leaked, like one of the journalists covering the Panama Papers turned up dead?
Yes, there was.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, that did happen. I don't know the exact parameters behind that, but the story hasn't been covered as widely as it should. But
just
I
disappeared
think,
one day.
Yeah. Well, I think it was more of a blatant kind of attack and assassination. I would have to look into it more to give you more exact details, but I remember hearing a lot about that. But I think the Mexican president pretty much accurately depicts what's going on. He recently came out and he said the lockdowns are just a form of dictatorship. Yeah. So he's not locking down Mexico. Life in Mexico is a lot different than it is in the United States. And who would have ever thought that, Mexico is doing a lot better than the United States?
How much you want to bet the peso is going to start going up?
Well, it depends. The peso is also very closely tied into the U.S. dollar. A lot of foreign currencies are tied into the U.S. dollar. So if we see the dollar go, we're going to see the whole world currency be affected by it very severely, as the U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency.
See, listen. This is the benefit of the military-industrial complex and the petrodollar. This is the benefit of the U.S. saying, we'll blow you up if you don't agree to our dollar. Like, Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein, right?
Exactly. And again, we have to understand here, with these extreme times, governments are just using this as an opportunity. The ship is sinking. They're trying to take as much as they can as it goes down. And I think that's really exemplified. There was a recent report that studied the lockdowns and the COVID responses from governments, and they ruled that freedom is the biggest casualty of COVID-19. Not just
they
in the
ruled or they found.
Well, they could also rule.
Determined,
ruled, found out,
concluded,
whatever word you want to use here. But this was a pretty stunning report by an international group that looked into all the government's responses from Africa to Asia. And they outlined how, in Nigeria, there was massive crackdowns on protest. And the restrictions were set in place to make sure that there wasn't anyone challenging the political status quo there. In Bolivia, they postponed the general elections. In Sri Lanka, the government accelerated its authoritarian agenda, stepping up efforts to control independent reporting and, quote, unfavorable speech by ordering the arrest of anyone who criticized the government. And we're seeing this not just done in democratically heavy states and cities in the United States, but we're seeing this done all over the world, using this pandemic, using COVID-19 as an excuse to ravage our civil liberties, to ravage our freedoms, and to take whatever they want for themselves.
And it's working, and they're getting away with it.
It is working for
The
now.
mail-in voting thing was another example of that.
Changing the 20, what is it? Rand Paul said 24 states changed their election rules without approval from their state legislatures.
Yeah.
24. Cuomo is banning symbols he doesn't like.
I'm concerned that this will be used as a premise to war. I told my friend that we were talking about Trump's drone strikes, and I was like, well, what if my fear is that the drones get hacked and then they're flown back over? Or
Well,
that
Iran did that.
Yeah, or that there's like an unknown assailant from orbit that torches a bunch of U.S. cities and we don't know who did it.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.